Two organizations filing a public records request with the Phoenix Police Department. Puente Human Rights Movement and the ACLU of Arizona say the department is not providing crucial data about its immigration enforcement procedures.
ABC 15 investigator Liliana Soto spoke to both organizations and the community who claim Phoenix PD are overstepping their boundaries.
Operations Order 4.48, the immigration-related policies that Phoenix Police Department must follow when enforcing criminal and civil immigration violations. Phoenix Police created it in 2010 after the passing of SB 1070 into law, which allows a police officer to question someone's immigration status only if there's a reasonable suspicion that this person is undocumented. According to ACLU website, SB 1070 requires Arizona law enforcement officers to determine or attempt to determine a person's immigration status only in two limited circumstances: a DUI, or when the officer detains a person on suspicion of a state law crime and the officer, during the course of the stop, develops reasonable suspicion that the person is an alien unlawfully present in the U.S. Every city has its own policies. Here in Phoenix, the operations order is Phoenix Police's own guidance, which includes that officers are prohibited from asking victims or witnesses of a crime about their immigration status, holding a person longer than it takes to address the purpose of a traffic stop. The courts have ruled that officers cannot prolong a stop to conduct an immigration check. For example, if an officer took 20 minutes to issue a traffic citation, they cannot wait more than that for an ICE officer to show up. Also, under this policy, officers must have supervisor approval before contacting ICE. After all that, officers must fill out a form with basic information such as the reason for an immigration check, the purpose of initial contact, the race and ethnicity of the person they stopped, and the outcome of the traffic stop. But in 2017, another requirement was added.
That the department has to track and collect data of immigration-related activities by its rank and file patrol officers within the city of Phoenix. To date, we have not received any of this information.
Christine Wee is an attorney with the ACLU of Arizona. She says even though the Phoenix Police Department is required to collect the data, they have never made it available to the public, at least not voluntarily. If the public wants to have access, they must file a public record request, which can usually take months.
The public is entitled to know what is going on, and these are just facts. This is objective data that we need to know to make sure that they are doing what they can to show us commitment that they are serious about ending racial profiling and racial injustice in the city.
Puente was able to get a hold of some of the data in 2020 through council member Carlos Garcia. Their findings
is showing that 95% of the people that they're contacting ICE for are U.S. citizens or lawful residents, and less than 3% are folks who are undocumented.
ACLU and Puente say there's an increasing number of complaints from the community against Phoenix Police, claiming the officers are calling ICE during regular traffic stops.
My brother called me and he was, "I'm so sorry, sister, what I have to tell you." And I said, "What happened? What happened?" I thought they had gotten in a car accident or something like that. But he told me, "I just took your husband." And I said, "No, please don't tell me that. Please don't tell me that." I was taking my girls to school. I remember I had to pull over because I couldn't contain myself. It was really hard.
Yvonne is a U.S. citizen. Her husband is not. He was sent to an immigration detention center after a traffic stop in Phoenix. His story and why having access to this data is important for Phoenix Police transparency in the coming days. Liliana Soto, ABC 15, Arizona.
ABC 15 reached out to the Phoenix Police Department about why this data is not publicly accessible. They tell us the Phoenix Police Department does collect the information referenced, and it will make it available through a public records request.